So I guess to fully understand where my story is coming from is back in Thanksgiving of 2023, I woke, well, it was actually the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. My heart just started palpitating out of nowhere. Like it was bad. And I was like, wow. Now I already knew I had a high thyroid, so I had medicine for the heart, propranolol. So I took some extra propranolol. I'm like, that should work. It didn't work. Long story short, I missed out on Thanksgiving. I ended up in the hospital on that Monday morning because I was in a thyroid storm. And if no one knows what a thyroid storm is, because I had no idea and I'm a chiropractor, it is extremely dangerous and very fatal, especially if you don't seek medical attention. So I'm glad I ended up in the hospital, and I ended up 2.5 weeks total being in there. I had to have a complete total thyroidectomy December 8th. So then, and I am a chiropractor with a very busy office, some of you know this. And I was like, I have to get back to work. To top it off, I had a doctor who works for me on maternity leave. So we were already short-staffed chiropractors, and then here this happens to me. So I was like, I got to get back to work. So the surgeon and endocrinologist agreed I could try and go back to work 3 weeks after surgery. Like, but you have to take it easy. I'm like, okay, fine. Yeah, bad mistake. I should have just waited at least 4 or 5 weeks, but I did. So then I had major neck pain because I'm trying to adjust people when my neck muscles were cut into and not fully healed. So I was like, okay. And I told my other chiropractor who was still working, she actually held the fort down while I was gone. All of us were gone. And I said, I go, Dr. Kara, I can't even do the 2.5 days a week I'm doing right now. And I had a lot of breaks in my schedule. And I go, I got to go to 2 days. And I just hired another chiropractor that we had to train. And I'm like, are you willing to train her 2 days? And I'll train her 2 days. And she's like, okay, I think I can handle it. I'm like, okay, great. A few days later, a friend of mine, I'm like falling asleep in her salon. I got highlights going. My neck's killing me. I'm like literally holding my head up like this because my neck hurts so bad and falling asleep. And she goes out to her car, grabs this little patch thing and hands it to me. And I go, what is it? She goes, it'll help you feel better. Just put it on. I go, at this point in my state of mind, I didn't even care what it was. I was like, okay, fine, just whatever, where do I put it? She goes, your neck or your sacrum? And I'm like, okay. So I put it on my sacrum, which I always loves that word. It's the low back. So I was like, okay. And I fall back to sleep. And she had a recliner chair. And all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, I perked up. And I was like, what time is it? She was 2:45. And I go, okay. And I'm logically thinking through this. What just happened to me? Why did I just perk up? This doesn't make sense to me. I've been dealing with fatigue, major fatigue and slow brain since everything happened. And I'm like, what? And this was January 19th. And I was like, I don't know what just happened here. It's not acupuncture meridians, that's off because I do acupuncture too. And I'm like talking out loud, and she goes, well, you put a patch on. And I was like, I did put a patch on. I go, but what is this patch? Love her to death. She could not explain to me what this patch was. And so I was like, all right. She goes, here's some to try. I'm like, sure, I'll try some. 4 days later, a patient walks into my office wearing the exact same patch. And I go, hey, I know what this is. She goes, you do? I go, well, not really. I go, but I've been trying it. I need a left brain explanation to this. And she goes, I'll take care of your left brain. I'm like, great, thank you, which is the logical side of the brain. And she's like, okay, great. So she sent me some info on it, a lot what you're talking about tonight, but I dug in deep. 2 days straight, pretty much. I just researched and researched. And I was like, they got double-blind placebo research studies. They got patents, multiple patents. I went to PubMed to look at these research studies. And I was like, okay, this is like a legit real deal thing here. And I'm like, all right, I for sure want to get some. I want to try it on my family. So you're not even including my kids and my husband in this 41. But I'm like, all right. And then I think there's a few of my very long-term chronic patients that I've been seeing for years that I want to see if they'll try it. So I went all in. I got the highest package. I'm like, we're all in on this. I want to see how it goes. It's more of an experimental thing for me because I'm a doctor. I want to see what happens. And so I could give you testimony after testimony, but for me, I was like, like I tell people, I'm like, God used the doctors in the hospital to save my life because it was very life-threatening. But I couldn't get my life back. And so I was like, God used David Schmidt to give me my life back. And then he put people in my life to share this patch with me. And he knew exactly what I would need to look into it. Because full disclosure, had it just been a patient coming in wanting me to look at this thing, I probably would not have done it. Because in my field, we get hit up with anything and everything with network marketing, especially if it's natural. So you almost just get numb to it. You're just like, no, I'm not. It's fine. Nope, 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 nope. Great, you can use it, but I'm not. So this one piqued my interest enough because it was a dear friend of mine who I love and trust, literally just slapped it on me. I was one of the few rare people that gets an immediate result. I've now discovered that's not everyone, and it's okay. But so it was about 30 to 35 people. If you include my immediate family, it was 34 people that I kind of experimented with who agreed. They agreed to give it 3 months trial. That's my stipulation. I go give it 3 months. If you see absolutely nothing after 3 months, you have my permission to say, I tried, it's good enough. Now, the company recommends 1 month per decade. So if you're in your 70s, you should really ideally give it 7 months. But I'm okay if people give it 3 months. I'm like, see how you are. Of those 34 people, everyone except 5 people that I know of that have come to me and talked to me had some kind of really good improvement. And whatever it was, some of it was stuff they weren't even expecting. So that's why I don't tell people what to look for. I'm like, just tell me if you notice anything, good or bad. That's it. That's all I want to know. And so most people were within the first couple 2 to 3 weeks. I just had a patient, I've been trying to get her to try it for a month. And she's just like, I don't know. I think it might make me feel worse at this. I was like, I think it'll help you. She goes, I'll wait till I get done with this. Well, she got tired of waiting. She goes, all right, that's it. I'm in. I talked to her on Saturday. She ordered a package. I gave her 2 to try, and she hadn't even tried them yet. So then she tried them on Sunday, Monday, I think it was either Sunday, Monday, or Monday, Tuesday. She calls the office, and I overhear my staff talking to her, and I didn't know who it was, but I was piqued my interest because my staff was asking the other doctor, hey, so-and-so would like to know if she can drop from twice a week to once a week because these patches are working amazing for her. And so I went, are you talking to so-and-so? And she goes, and she like nodded, and I was like, ask how she's feeling. And because I knew I only gave her 2 patches. And so my staff asked her, and I could hear her like through the phone a bit, and she goes, oh my gosh, it's a night and day difference. Night and day difference. She goes, I'm sleeping. She was lucky to get 3 hours of sleep before the patch. She goes, I'm sleeping, and then I have energy during the day. I don't know what to do. Like, this is amazing. I can't wait for my shipment to come in. So that is what really gets me motivated to keep going. And like, I think everyone should at least give it a try. It's a few $100 investment for 3 months to see if it changes your life. And to me, that's worth it.